Hey guys, this is MCL doing a body-based modelling tutorial. I'm sorry if I go fast in this, I wasn't able to record my voice during the modelling, so hope it goes well. Start out with a cylinder first, so we make the torso first. You gotta get that basic body shape. I usually model the front and then the side, it just makes things a lot easier. As you can see, I'm making the front here and now the side. With the side, with the anime model bases, they're usually very curvy on the spine area, if that makes sense, so do it that way. Well, that's what I do anyway. I usually split the model in half and then mirror it. That makes it easier to make the symmetry so there's no more mistakes and stuff like that. Okay, so with modelling there's just a lot of tweaking as well, so you're going to see a lot of that during this. Okay, so right now what I'm doing is making the crotch area. In my previous video I just did it a terrible way. I've learnt since then. This is the best way to do it, I find. So we're just making the shape, tweaking the leg parts and making that perfect shape. As you can see from the side, it is not a perfect shape at the moment, but I'm gonna fix that, don't worry. And we're getting there. So the side takes a bit longer than the front because, well, I don't really know why, but it just does. Now I'm extruding the legs. Looks weird, yes, but that can be fixed. All you gotta do is tweak. So all we're doing here is changing the shapes to make it look more normal. Yep, there we go. Making the butt. And then I'm gonna straighten that out a bit. Sorry, changing my music. I find that angling the first section of the leg makes it easier for rigging, if that makes sense. Sorry if it doesn't, it's just the way I do things. Okay, just tweaking and making the shapes. I hope this is easy enough to follow. I don't really know how to describe the modelling as I'm doing it. It's quite difficult for me to explain it because I'm just so used to it, I just do it. As you can see, more tweaking, more adding lines and making butts. Okay. Are we done? Okay, yeah. Okay, we're just editing the shape of the spine now and the belly because she looked a bit frumpy, if that makes sense. Right, we're getting there. Okay, as you can see, when I made the legs, I extruded them a certain way and it made them triangular, so just tweaking that. Making more of the leg. I'm not going to finish the leg right now because there are other parts to do, like the shoulders in a second. I'm going to tweak this a bit though because shape is a little bit wrong and we need to make those hip bones that all women have. It's hard to make the hip bones, you just need to pull out the right parts really. What I'm doing here is I'm just undoing the mirror effect and putting the model back together so I can add the shoulders on in a second. Just taking a look at my work, seeing if anything needs tweaking, and again, that hip bone. Just trying to get the perfect hip bones. Us girls, we just want the perfect hip bones. You can see that's a bit more prominent now. It looks a bit more nice. Right, next we are going to take another cylinder, don't know what's wrong with me. And last time I made the segments about 18, but I think I'm going to make them 12 now. Okay, and then I've made 4 segments the other way. So you just put it up on the top, stretch it, turn it round, and then we're going to delete the bottom and the outer circles. You just line it up with the segments you have on the body, and then I'm just joining these so I can get a better feel for it. Okay, now we're just going to edit this shoulder part, because obviously this is not how shoulders look, we just need to edit it a little bit. Now when you're positioning them, obviously you're going to need to make those lines a little bit more curvy, as you can see I'm doing here, and then we're going to move it back because the arms are not actually in the middle. If you stand up straight and you have proper posture, then your arms like come out more towards the back, if that makes sense. Don't really know how to explain that, but that's just best I can explain it, really. Okay, a little bit more tweaking and we'll get back to the shoulders. Okay, so I've just put the smoothing on it, and now I'm extruding the neck. Now when I extrude the neck, it's a little bit square, obviously, because I've extruded it from square. But all I have to do to fix this is bring in the corners and bring out the sides. Easier to just bring in the corners because then you don't have a fat neck. Okay, I've just joined those 2 pieces together, and now I'm going to start making the armhole shape. See, I'm putting it more towards the back. That's just how shoulders fall. Here I am stretching out the front segments so I can put the breasts in later. And I decided to see how it would look if I pulled the shoulder out a bit. I decided I liked it and mirrored it. Right, now we're making the breast. I've made it out of a cube, it's just better that way for the topology, I find, because the less triangles the better. Well, there's going to be triangles anyway in the end, but it's just neater this way. I've put more segments in, but I'm going to delete them in a second because I forgot to put triangles in to stop the segments from going all over the body. You'll see. See, there we go. Put the triangles in and then add the segments. There's a lot of fiddling about when it comes to me and modelling. It's just something has to go wrong, so I have to correct it. Here I'm just joining the breast to the body, and then I'm going to be tweaking all the segments, all the points, just to make them the right size. I mean, don't think this is how they are going to look. This is not how they are going to look. They will look better, I promise. You can't just start something and think, oh god, it looks terrible, and then just quit, because it doesn't look the way you want it when you begin. You've got to just keep tweaking. Well, that's what I do anyway. Ew. Still tweaking. Right, I'm just changing the shape of the boob. And joined it to the body now. And you can see it looks sort of normal, but the shape of how it transitions from upper chest to breast it needs to be more curvy, if that makes sense. Right, and I decided the posture wasn't anime enough, so here I am just bending it. There we go. It's a little bit more anime. And you see I just made the thigh really big. I am going to change that later, do not worry, that is not how it's gonna stay. Right, here I am just tweaking the back, making it a bit more shoulder bladey, if that makes sense. And I'm just putting that crease in the back in. More segments just to make it a little bit more shapely. It's looking quite good at the moment. I'm proud of it at the moment. You just gotta keep going. Now for the arms. Right now I'm making the joint between the shoulder and the arms. And arms are sort of easy for me to make. I mean, at first they were just thin twigs, but I've learnt quite a bit how arms look now. I mean, it's hard to study arms because, you know, if you're just walking around trying to look at arms to get a good reference, people usually wear sleeves, so that's kind of difficult. I find legs way easier to make because, well, you know. Right, here I am just making the arms. Now, while I was making these, a little later you'll find I decided I made them a little bit too long, and I will shorten it a little bit. Well, I'll move the elbow more inwards, if that makes sense. And right now I'm just going to make the hand joint a little bit flatter, because if you have a look at the way your hand joins your arm, it's more rectangular than circle. Right, now the top of the arm is a little bit more difficult, but you get there. I decided to make it a bit more bent than straight because that's easier for rigging purposes. If you have the bones positioned in a little more bent, then the model moves a little bit easier. As you can see, just making it that little bit bent. And I'm just tweaking all the other parts. See, I moved the elbow more in. Right, now onto the legs. Sorry for that keep popping up, it's just I'm checking if it's still recording, because sometimes it cuts out. Right, so I extruded the leg down and now I'm just inserting lines and just changing the shape of each part to create the leg shape. Now the way I do knees is 3 lines, and the first 2 are pretty much the same, but then the second one is edged outwards, and that creates a nice little knee shape. And you have to remember when making the legs not to make the ankles super tiny. I made that mistake so many times. Now onto the side again. I do them one at a time, front then side. Now I had a bit of trouble with the side part this time. I just couldn't get a shape that I liked, and I put them a bit too backwards, but I fix it in the end, and I use the bend tool to correct that. Also, I have a problem with thighs. I always make them a little bit too big. See, I'm putting it a bit too much back right now, but I'll fix that, don't worry. And there we go, I fixed it slightly. Still all these anime models, they have that curved leg. And that is that for now. There you go. Oh, no wait, I just need to extend that a little bit. There we go. As you can see, we have a quite nice looking model right there, and next tutorial I will be making hands and feet, hopefully. Don't know when that'll come out, so don't wait too long, okay? Thanks for watching. Hope this really helped. If you have any questions, just put it in the comments. I'll be sure to answer it as soon as I can. Bye!